Have you ever met an uptight kind of man? Always worried about money despite having plenty? Freaks out over a ketchup stain? Wears tighty-whities as an adult? Well, I'm that kind of man. So for this reason, I've always seeked out a woman that's more of a free spirit, to pull me apart piece by piece, find out what's bothering me at any specific moment, like a mechanic doing routine maintenance on a car that sees the road 3 hours a day. Free spirits haven't always been a positive force in my life. They are rather inconsistent after all, but they do a lot of good in helping me unwind from my very stressful office job. I had recently run into a dry spell, so to speak. Typically, I want a companion, a life partner, someone I can talk to and take out on dates. But I figured maybe it was time to break out of my mold of looking for long-term relationships on Match.com and eHarmony, and look for a more short-term arrangement. Maybe even find someone just to have casual sex with. So I started thinking like a free spirit, and I made an OkCupid profile, a site that's a bit more youthful than the other two. And I looked into Craigslist as well. Since I was used to looking for long-term relationships, I was surprised to see just how many women were interested in short-term dating. Even just casual sex. It was like finding out everyone else was out at recess having fun while I stayed inside the classroom doing my social studies homework. It was a sudden and heartachy feeling, as though I've been squandering my youth. Yet I had no one to blame but myself. I had been looking for a woman to give me permission to have fun. No more, I said. So I jumped headlong into the first post or profile that I wanted to be a part of. Craigslist. It was filed under Casual Encounters, Women for Men. The posting was labeled Fun in the Forest. A young woman, didn't state her age, just that she was fit and attractive. There wasn't a picture. She wanted to meet in a nearby national park. It had very specific instructions, and I pondered if this was normal. After browsing other posts under the same heading of Casual Encounters, I saw that it wasn't. But I felt like it was for me. I never minded a woman telling me what to do, so the request she made aroused me. I contacted this woman via a junk email account and we agreed on a date. I did as per the posting after work one day. It was 8:30 and the park closed at 10. I parked near the back of the woods. No one else was around. I started off on a trail that was labeled with a fox at the trailhead. Either that or a wolf painted bright orange. The path was clear, but it was hard to see even 20 feet off the path. It was a tad chilly, but I left my jacket in the car, again as per the instructions. As I moved along the path and the evening brought clouds across the moon's face like a gray beard hiding the smile of a sage-old man, I heard shifting to my left and right. Low to the ground, like rabbits or frogs were disturbed by my presence and went to hide beneath moist logs. It was like the flora and fauna knew how out of place I was. Artificial. Wearing dress clothes and a tie, a chrome watch I wear not because I need to tell the time, but because status symbols gain promotions where I work. I had on dress shoes that I hadn't even broke in yet, not at all suitable for a twilight hour stroll in the woods. I didn't smell like a man, but rather a cologne section of an upscale clothing store. Hair parted with a proper amount of product for a man, and trimmed just last week. Clean shaven, defanged and declawed. I should have been skeptical of the ad's validity by this point, but at the time I just wondered where this young lady was. She instructed me to walk the whole trail, and while a more active imagination would have been mildly perturbed by the creaks and groans of the diurnal animals beginning to rest, and the nocturnal animals beginning to rise, I was at peace with it. It didn't matter if I found the woman or not. My tiresome routine was broken. I felt good about my chances with women in the future. The rest of the hike, I went into autopilot and didn't pay much attention to my surroundings. I just let the sound of nature remind me I'm a human, not a robot. When I made my way out of the woods, I had trouble orienting myself in relation to the parking lot. It was so dark that I didn't even know where my car was. When my eyes finally focused on it, my newly leased black BMW 4 Series, its driver's side door was ajar. I jogged over to it and saw nothing seemed broken. Everything seemed to be in place, but I knew something had to be off. Yet I couldn't place my finger on it. Something was different, and it wasn't just the invasion of my car. I was ready to leave, but patting my pockets, I couldn't find my car keys. Then I found my keys in the ignition. I had thought I brought them with me for sure. On the ride home, I pondered what had happened. Throwing my keys on the kitchen counter, I sauntered over to the bathroom. Before I could use the facilities, my reflection caught my eyes. My tie was loosened and the top 2 buttons on my dress shirt were undone. The bottom of said shirt was only half tucked into my pants on one side. My hair was ruffled like I had a bad case of Sunday morning bedhead, and my 5 o'clock shadow was more aggressive than normal. Most startlingly, I saw that my neck was adorned with love marks, and in that moment it hit me. I didn't know what had happened to my jacket. Looking in the car again, I found nothing. But I received an email back from that Craigslist posting. It just said, "I'm keeping your jacket for a while. It smells like you."